Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Books and Betches, not to be confused with Books and
Betches.
Boom.
I'm Kristen, and with me I have
Erica
and Maria.
And our special guest. This is... Was she about to say her name?
Yeah.
Don't talk. Don't talk. Our special guest of the day. This is a special episode with a special guest.
Oh my God.
It's very
special again.
Keep saying it.
Olivia, introduce yourself.
Say her fucking name first.
Introduce yourself, person.
I am Olivia.
It's Olivia! Olivia, who are you?
Oh, man.
Why are you
Who
here?
are you in this
I'm
realm?
a Pisces.
You are? We're sister signs. I'm a Virgo.
Oh, God, here we go. Olivia, what...
Just replace Kristen.
That's fine.
Just do that.
Okay, Olivia, we know you mostly through Erica, but
I can't
you
play
guys,
the harmonica.
You guys found each other on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been following her for years.
Well, I don't know. Tell me the story. How did it happen?
Well, we met
I
on
don't
Instagram.
I don't actually know how we
I think we just mutually follow each other.
No, I know, but I don't know how me and her ended up talking so much.
Oh, we collabed.
Oh, you're right.
You guys made a video together?
A couple.
Before collabing was cool.
Collabing has been cool forever.
Yeah.
No, there was
Especially
there's
when we
been
did
like
a
a weird resurgent or insurgence
Of collabing?
of collaboration.
It's kind of weird on Instagram, right? Like, it makes sense on YouTube where you're, like, sitting down doing a whole video. But, like, on Instagram, you really got to be... Like, you have to really connect and, like, think of something
We wrote
cool.
a script.
Wow.
We did, yeah.
That's intense.
We wrote like 3 scripts.
Yeah.
That's
Am I doing this right?
Yeah, you're doing great.
Great.
So, Olivia, give us your story. Like, how did you get started on Instagram? Have you, like, just who are you?
Well, I published a book,
Wow.
Yes.
and then I got started on Instagram.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yep. So originally it was just like my author platform.
Okay.
And then I discovered Bookstagram,
Nice.
and I fell in love.
The rest is history.
And then I delisted that book, and then I wrote Lycanthrope.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Nice.
Wait, you wrote
You know what's
Lycanthrope?
funny?
Lycanthrope was my second book.
Why do I know that book?
Because you probably got an
That's
ad for
probably
it like
seen
I
it,
did on
'Cause
Kindle.
It's my book.
Oh my God, I didn't
You've
know you
probably
wrote
seen
that.
it.
That's awesome.
I literally got an ad for it yesterday. I was like,
No,
oh,
did you?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I didn't know
Thank you.
that.
Thank you.
I didn't
See, I'm
know
learning.
the first book was delisted.
I delisted it.
What does that mean?
Means
Took it off the shelf?
I pulled it off of
Oh,
Amazon.
were you not like?
Yeah, I'm just not gonna finish it. I have no plans on finishing that book. So
That's fair. Was
feel that.
it gonna be
I
a
was like,
series or
nah.
something?
it was also like YA. It was like a like kind of dystopian culty YA, like high school setting.
Yep.
And then I just like did not want to keep writing that like story after that.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool though.
So
You
I
can
put it
decide to be like, yeah, I'm done. Like I always
No,
wonder
yeah.
how that would happen if
For sure.
people
it was
wrote
good
books.
practice for publishing.
Yeah, that's great.
But Lycanthrope's getting a book too.
Lycanthrope's getting a book too.
Oh
yes.
shit! You heard it here first. You might have heard it elsewhere.
You did not hear it here first. You heard it here again.
It's not on our social medias, so she does not see the post. I have been
I'm
seeing
learning.
them. I beta read one of her books.
So I was gonna say now I'm
She
gonna read it.
did.
Also, Olivia has a couple of novellas too.
I do.
Yeah. That's amazing.
I got 2 novellas out right now.
So what's it like being an author? Do you feel like have you done mostly self-publishing? Have you gone the?
No, yeah, I've only self-published.
Oh, that's cool.
She knows how to
I
do
love
it
it.
better than I do. That's like,
Really?
yeah.
Through trial and error, though.
Well, I feel like after a while you probably get it down.
Yeah, I think
I
think
literally-
I've got a science.
Yeah.
I literally was like, I will throw money at this so I don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, right.
And Olivia was like, no, I'm gonna figure
Which
this
is
out.
valid.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Yeah, I had no money. See, when I started to throw.
2 prongs at the same comb.
So
That's actually
I
really
learned-
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do an entire episode.
Have
if you're
we talked about what we're talking about? Like
no,
the book is
so
Me and Olivia wrote a book together.
That's why we're
Hold
here.
on.
Oh yeah.
That's why we're here.
yeah, this episode is about their book that they wrote together called Fated Enemies, obviously by Olivia and DePinto. That's the only
Eel.
thing I remember from seeing your name on that.
Eel.
DePinto. So we're gonna talk about Fated Enemies this episode, but we're also gonna do an entire episode about their writing process. I would love to talk about publishing more. So if you're really interested in that side of things, just stick around for next week. You'll be able
That's
to.
not gonna be on next week.
Yeah, it will.
It absolutely will not
roasted.
be.
Here.
We literally sat down and planned the next like 8
2
weeks.
months.
8 weeks. and it was not the next week.
Okay,
It's
stick
gonna
around.
be in a couple of weeks.
Okay, stick around for a couple weeks, and you'll
Just
hear
don't
all
go
about
anywhere.
it.
How about that?
Keep
Just
listening.
Keep listening.
But for the sake of this episode, we're specifically talking Fated Enemies. So if you haven't read it yet, go read it because we are
It's
going
on
to
Kindle
spoil
Unlimited.
it. Is it? Oh yeah,
It's free on Kindle Unlimited.
it's available on Kindle Unlimited.
free.
I will
with
never
your
forget that one
subscription.
review we got of someone who just doesn't like the podcast. They're like, they keep talking about free on Kindle Unlimited, and they just don't let it die. And I'm like, we never will.
I'm gonna put that on a shirt that just says
Free
free
on
on Kindle
Kindle.
Unlimited. That would actually be really funny. We keep saying we're gonna put things on shirts.
We never get the shirts done.
We never do.
Yeah.
Olivia, do you have merch?
No.
Oh,
It's hard.
Maybe we could
bad.
collab.
Nah.
It is.
I
hard.
almost did merch a
Really?
second ago. Yeah, I ordered like the hoodies for myself and everything.
You didn't go through with it?
No, I didn't go there.
It sounds like us. I
No,
see why
I
this
didn't.
connection worked really well.
Yeah.
I can't believe
I
y'all
wasn't
wrote a book.
huge fan. I know.
That's amazing. I love this.
What?
Okay.
Our book?
Yes, I love that you did this. I love collaborations. I think it's cool that y'all found the time to actually like do
Yeah,
this.
you guys did this pretty quickly. Tell me the timeline at least.
May? June?
It
Is
came
April?
Was
out
that the beginning?
I think it was the beginning.
I think we banged it out in like 3 months.
Wow.
fast.
And
It's
for
pretty
a
fast.
solid book
Yep.
too. How did you guys decide to do like what who
That's
was
the writing
idea?
process. We're
I
not talking about
forget.
the writing process.
No, I just want to know whose idea it was.
I don't know. I don't know how it.
We better think about it for the next episode.
Yeah.
Me and Olivia spitball a lot of ideas.
I love that.
Like, a lot.
Oh yeah.
We have a lot of
I hit
ideas
Erica
that
up
go back
about
and
like
forth.
websites
Yeah.
and like all kinds of shit. Yeah.
I love that.
I love
so
that
we have
too.
a lot of
Something
something we stuck to. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just one of those things
Yeah.
that we
the
ended
DMs
up like.
must be like in.
Oh yeah, they're insane.
Wow.
You can't find anything. In there.
No, not at all.
I love
But
it.
I will say, our like actual planning for this, like we have like folders and like
Yeah.
outlines.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
gonna talk all about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
in the
super
other
detailed.
episode. But one thing that really like kept us on is just like we outlined like what chapters are gonna be what, and that like helped us write it because we were like, all right, this chapter is this chapter, and then the next chapter is I have to write this and she has to write this.
Yes.
I have to write this, she has to write this. So it was like very like consecutive.
Cool.
So, Olivia's doing 60 seconds.
Yeah,
Oh my
Olivia, do you watch our or listen? Or
oh.
it's okay if
Oh,
you don't.
you know I do.
Okay, cool. Oh, that's awesome.
I do.
Okay,
I
so you
watched-
know.
Oh,
You
I
know.
recently watched your review of Verity so that I could give that book away finally. 'Cause I had no intention of reading it.
I read it on Kindle Unlimited, so never had to actually
Oh yeah,
pay for it.
I'm dumb. I bought it at Barnes and Noble.
Ugh,
It sat
damn.
on my bookshelf for like 6 months, and then you guys did it, and I was like, nice. I'm gonna market read on Goodreads.
No, you should do a giveaway.
Yeah,
that's a
a
good
lot of
idea.
people like that book.
Yeah, I
so
could do that.
Might as well.
A lot of people do like that book.
Ugh, then I gotta mail things.
It's a lot of work.
I was thinking the other day about getting rid of some of my fairy loot things that I have in the house.
a good
and
idea.
I want to do it with like our book club people on Patreon.
That's a great idea.
But first thing I thought was like, oh, I gotta ship shit.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Olivia, since you know the podcast, you know what you're about to do. But for those of you who have never listened to this podcast, we do this thing where we attempt to explain the entire plot summary of a book in 60 seconds or less. It's stressful, it's hard, but it's your own book. So I feel like
That's
Yeah,
even
okay.
worse.
that might be worse. I don't know.
Even worse. If
Have
you
we
can't
done
do
this
your own
yet?
I'm
book.
like, what's important? What do I? Okay. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's all important.
Erica did hers
Okay.
for
Did
Flight
she?
Risk.
No.
No, you did.
Yeah, that was bad.
You did Flight Risk.
All right, Olivia. Since you're our guest, you get to do the honors. Let me pull
Oh
up
my
my
God.
stopwatch. You better start thinking. Got to know all those
I'm
character
gonna
names.
give you guys the plot to a different book.
Oh, that's
Erica's
happening.
done that.
I did that.
Erica has done that. So.
You won't be the first. All right, here we go, Olivia. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Jack and Dallas are both the firstborn alpha offspring of rival packs, and their packs are bisected by like a neutral territory. And they meet at like an alpha meeting, and they like get interested, and then they like.
You can do it. You can do it.
They go and they like meet in secret because their dads hate each other, and then they make a plan to run away. And then on the night that they're supposed to run away, Jack's dad turns up dead, and then Dallas, she thinks that he like blew her off, so her dad sends her off to college. So Jack picks up her scent on the thing that killed his dad. So 4 years later, Dallas graduates college. She comes home. She sees Jack. He's like the hot alpha. Oh, he's so hot. And then
20 seconds.
What? And then I can't look at the clock. And then they like pine basically for like the whole book. And then they find out that, wait, do I spoil?
Yes.
They find out that
10.
it was Dallas's dad that sent the envelope, and he did it
5,
craftily. I don't know.
4,
And then they kill Dallas's dad.
and fall in love.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is a romance.
That was really good.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what's
it's
funny?
romance.
That was so stressful.
I
How do
know.
we do that every week?
You know what's funny is you got to the part where you were only, I think you were at like 30
Oh, I
seconds.
missed so
in.
many things.
No.
I didn't even talk about Zora.
No, but then
No,
you
it's fine.
said, and then it was 4 years later, and I want to be like, yeah, that was like chapter 2.
That was chapter 11. Okay.
Yo, that fucking, I took a picture of that on my Kindle where it said 4 years later,
Yeah.
and I said to Erica, Erica, what the fuck? All right, here we go.
4 years later.
Let me pull up.
Was
some
that okay?
notes. That was
Perfect.
amazing.
I feel like I could have done better.
No, you did
Listen,
great.
So I did one for Hocus Pocus too, like just before you got here.
Oh really?
The worst one I've ever done.
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh.
I can't live it down now.
In your
Listen,
defense, that was
I
kind
did-
of confusing.
that was
movie.
really good. That was one of the best ones
Yeah.
we've had, for
Yeah.
real,
Yeah.
because you did the top level,
Like
like
I
the
say.
important shit,
Like I
right?
say.
And not
Cool.
that it's
Main
not
shit.
important. Yeah. We could
Okay,
go
fine.
now. We're gonna go into the story, so don't worry. We didn't.
We're gonna get to Zora.
That's good because I missed a lot of really important things.
Yeah, let's kick this off. So my first question that I have is, what is an omega? Because they kept saying omega knows.
Is
And
it God?
So like in a lot of shifter or like fantasy, a lot of like especially like this style fantasy is like they bring it instead of saying like oh God or like oh like you know what I mean like or like something like,
like God knows, omega knows.
Yeah, like they say like their version of what their like deity is.
Okay,
Yeah, almost like a mythology.
Yeah,
That
kind
makes
of
sense.
kind of like Akatar had it too.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
They
They have something similar.
I've
yeah.
never heard of omega before, so that I've heard
always
this.
heard Alpha
Omega
and
was
Omega.
new to me too. Erica
Okay.
introduced
Well,
me.
I was just trying to make like
No, it makes a lot of sense.
shift it up. Shift
You
it
don't
up.
have to defend it. You don't have to defend. It's
I
okay.
just didn't know what
No,
it was.
no. Yeah, I think
It's
it
just
works.
a common.
Actually, I think
It's
it
a
works.
common thing that happens in this like that genre, I guess.
Okay,
And the Omega, like it's like technically this is the Omega verse.
got it.
Mm.
So I
Okay.
was like, let's tie in the Omega.
So
Mhm.
I
the
forget what the first was it that the first one I said, or did I change it?
That was the first one that I think I saw written. So I don't know if you changed it before I like got to your chapters.
Yeah,
So the book is
I
written
don't remember.
in two perspectives. We have Dallas, who is the woman, and Jack, who is the man. Both of them are wolves. So it's written in their perspectives, and it switches between chapters. So it goes from Jack's perspective to Dallas's.
Which is how we wrote it.
That was what I was going to ask. So you wrote, like, one of you wrote the man and one of you wrote the woman.
Mhm.
Can you
Yes.
explain that a little bit and, like, who wrote what and why you did it that way?
We just that was like the easiest way to split it up. One, and then like I felt like I felt like, at least in my head, that like if there was two different voices in terms of writing style, that it would be a little bit more like digestible.
Yeah,
if
I'm with you.
it was like at least the two different chapters.
I agree.
Like the two different
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, I mean,
I-
realistically, that's the easiest way to split the workload
Yeah.
anyway.
True. That's a good point.
I will say, just even though you both had different chapters, it didn't feel very different.
It didn't feel disconnected.
Yeah, I think you guys
Yeah.
made a great way of like still connecting them, but still having two separate characters.
For sure.
One
So,
thing.
thank you.
Well, another
Okay,
thing
yeah.
is we edited each other's chapters.
Mm.
Okay.
Which is
So,
also
like,
a good
important,
idea too.
yeah.
So, well, no,
Yeah.
because like I think Olivia added a lot of stuff to my chapters that wasn't really necessarily like my voice, but it helped match her voice and vice versa.
And vice versa, yeah. in
So
a big
one
way.
thing I hate about shifting perspectives between two characters is when they sound exactly the same. I
For
hate
sure.
when I'm reading a book and I'm like, fuck, I don't remember. And I start scrolling back being like, whose perspective am I reading from? What I liked about what you guys did was that it felt like I was actually reading Jack and reading Dallas and they were two different people, which is so important for books like this. So I thought that was a really cool thing.
I think a
that y'all
lot of
did.
people said that.
Really
A lot of
In
people said what?
reviews.
Oh yeah, that they liked like the difference in that.
different perspectives.
Yeah, we even
That
got
it felt
reviews saying
different.
like what you just said about how it felt like seamless. Like
yeah.
I don't know if one of us like talked about it in our stories. It was probably me. I never shut up, right? But like one of us probably talked about it in our stories. So like some people knew going into it that we had split the workload that way.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I don't think I ever said which
Who did
perspective
who.
I wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah, who did who?
online.
Are we telling them, or-
Yeah.
Okay.
I did Jack and
Yeah,
she
I did.
Dallas.
I did Dallas.
That's awesome. Okay, so we start with. Did we start with Jack?
We start with
No,
we start
it's
with Dallas.
Did
yeah.
we? Okay, so it starts with Dallas. Basically, what you said. They're both wolves, and they're meeting. I love that this is set in New Hampshire. I thought that was great.
You like that?
Are you? You're not from New Hampshire.
Nope.
Though, right? No.
She's from Rhode Island.
I do like New Hampshire though.
So
Yeah.
you know New England.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I've
that's
been in
what
New
we
England
did.
my
We
whole life.
wanted
Yeah.
we wanted something remote, and then we were like, all right, let's do it in somewhere that like nobody fucking knows, so
Yeah.
that they can't say anything.
It felt
Yeah.
very New Hampshire.
I like what
Yeah.
you guys. I'm not from New Hampshire. I've visited
Yeah.
once or twice.
Yeah, that's
love
just
New
me too.
Hampshire,
I've never
but
lived there,
it
but I
is-
visit.
It made sense. I could imagine how it looked. You guys
For
I
sure.
knew it
Thank you.
enough that like
Yeah.
I like somebody wouldn't be calling us on it, and
Yeah.
then it's also
Mm.
so remote that like you wouldn't know.
Well, to me, that makes sense for something like this, where wolves are running around in the woods,
Amok.
and not
Amok,
to,
amok,
but like not to be seen by humans. That's got to be tough. But I feel like in a place like New Hampshire or New England
Yeah.
in general. But if you're living in
There's
fucking
some
New York
towns-
City, you're gonna know.
There's some towns in New Hampshire that have like
People mind their business
1,000
there,
people.
dude.
Yeah.
They don't like
Most
of
they,
them.
Like
Just
yeah.
never live free or
Yeah.
die state.
I
Yeah.
Leave them alone.
Oh yeah.
Don't bother
No,
nobody.
yeah.
The only other
They
state
do.
that I would have considered is Maine.
I can
For
see
sure.
that too.
Yeah, totally.
But I
Maine.
think of Stephen King every time I think of Maine.
yeah, right. I know
2/3
what
of
you mean.
Maine is unorganized territory.
Yeah, true.
Oh,
It's pretty crazy. Or Alaska. Alaska would be cool too.
Alaska.
Yeah,
Especially
but I just
wolves.
don't know enough
yeah,
about
I know.
it.
I've never been. I would love to go to Alaska.
Me too. Maybe we should do an Alaska
So
trip.
cool.
No.
Okay.
Every
Um,
time we just bring up a place, you're like, let's go there.
So
we never go any. But that's Kristen. Like,
Yeah.
that's my entire.
We did a
friendship with
podcast.
Kristen is just that.
We did a podcast.
I'm still surprised that this has gone off the ground. Like
You're
I
welcome.
honestly would not have guessed.
But when it happens, it happens.
Uh-huh.
Is what I'm saying.
My question. So I this was my first ever Shifter book.
Mhm.
Like true. Like Shifter was the main
Minus Twilight.
premise. Minus Twilight. But this is my first ever real Shifter book. My initial question was the way you both wrote about their wolves. It felt like a
Yes.
third person.
Yes.
Like a whole different entity.
Mm-hmm.
Is that normal for Shifter books?
So this
or
is also
that-
my first Shifter book.
Whoa.
If by your definition, yeah, like my first like smutty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
You Shifter expert.
It varies. It really
varies.
does. I
I
like.
felt that was weird.
I am a
at first,
connoisseur.
so-
I'm a connoisseur, and I found that the ones where the wolves are a separate entity, like a feel like
Yeah.
Mm.
I think those work better because I think
Yeah.
it gets confusing when
At
it's like
first
one
I
and the
was-
same.
I was like, what? And then as it progressed, it was like, oh, my wolf wanted to play with her wolf. And I was
Yeah.
like,
A
yeah,
lot of
I was
interesting.
afraid of like
It feeling
drawing
like a
the line
character.
too close. Yeah, I didn't want Jack's wolf to feel like Jack
Mm-hmm.
because like, you know, that means like when Jack gets horny.
The wolf
Does
gets
when his wolf get horny? That's fucking
So
weird.
it's
I don't know.
weird.
I don't
That's
like
a
it.
really good
Yeah.
I'm a
point.
dog person. I don't like that.
That's
Yeah,
a really good
I
point.
got you.
Yeah.
No, I like that. I also like that it was a separate entity because they felt like two separate people. And I got into I'm not gonna lie, I got into the nitty gritty a little bit where they started talking about people doctors. And my biggest thing was like, okay, if they went to a doctor, aren't they gonna know something is fucking weird about them? There's got to be a feature that they have where they're like, are you a wolf? Like, there's got to be like, and I couldn't stop thinking about if they
Doctor
went
goes
to,
to.
like, their blood's got to be different. Like, something's got to be different and weird for a normal doctor to see them.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But
think
you
you're
could use the
thinking similarly.
excuse. You could use the excuse that if it's a separate entity, you could be like, well, that's a different part of them entirely. So that's what kind of where I was like
I think so.
justifying it for you.
I think ours
Thanks.
in particularly like this was not meant to be like a super long in depth like book or any like
Yeah.
sometimes these shifter books like they scratch the surface of the world and it's so different than fantasy in that sense and like
Yeah.
traditional fantasy in the sense that like all of this other shit doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like it's literally just like these people shift into wolves and there's like
And that's it.
a pack dynamic and that's it. Like
yeah,
that's
the
all
biggest,
you're getting out of
the
this.
story was Jack and Dallas.
Yeah.
The whole point I
Versus
think,
like
was
fantasy
that, yeah.
romance is very much world building and creating like this like new entity of like rules and regulations and like shifter books are just what they are. It's a lot of
fantasy
fucking
I like
smut.
romance,
I like
the,
that.
And they
the
shift
world
into
building
wolves.
is
Yeah.
basically another character.
And they're usually
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah, they're
I
hot.
get you, I get
They
you.
fuck and then
Yeah.
they shift into wolves.
Which we do have to say, like,
Hopefully separately.
usually
this
on
book is
different
smutty.
pages.
There is some sex in it.
How did you feel about writing smut?
It was wild. It was
the
She wasn't gonna her books.
I originally thought y'all wrote opposite, so I've just been confused this whole time, which honestly is good because I'm getting like different perspectives. But before we get into the smut, I do want to like talk about just like getting there, because the first part of this book was they're like they fall in love almost right away, right? Like they're like, or at least like hot for each other. Yeah, which I like.
I don't think it's insta love. I think it's insta
No,
lust.
I don't think it's love. Yeah, I think it's definitely attraction.
There was something there. They felt the pull.
Yeah.
And right when they were talking about running away together. I think there had to be some sort of
it was
love.
like 3 months later. Come on.
That's like teenage. You know what I mean? Teenage puppy love.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a huge decision.
Teenagers are dumb.
No,
Teenagers
totally.
They are
stupid.
dumb.
But to me,
Especially
that meant
Jack.
I felt like that was like the immature part of being a teen.
Yeah, definitely.
But
It's
it's
like
like
not
there was
thinking
a
about
pull
it.
though.
Naive.
Like,
No,
it
yeah,
was strong.
yeah. There was a
Kristen
draw.
wrote, there was a pull.
There was. You're
There
right.
was a
But the
pull.
point
You're
is,
right, you're
the
right,
point
there is a
is,
draw.
like, right away, I'm like, I'm getting into it. I'm like, all right, here we go. Like, this is great.
Run away.
And then his dad dies,
Yeah.
Yep,
and
boom.
there's a scent. It's her scent. And he's like, she fucking killed my dad. And then she thinks that this is the miscommunication that we're talking about. And she thinks that he has a mate because her mom told her that. And then I get this blank page and it says 4 years later. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? They didn't communicate for 4 years?
Miscommunication.
That's taking you fucking said my
But
book has a
that's not-
miscommunication trope, but it's not like a big miscommunication. And they figure,
Everyone says it's a good one.
He doesn't have a cell phone.
He lives off the grid.
Yeah, he lives off the grid.
Where
True.
were they supposed to send letters?
Sure.
Well, if Jack was gonna send her a letter, it would have been like, it would have had like
fuck you.
arsenic
Yeah.
in it or something like that, right?
The
Like,
miscommunication
he thought
is that
murder. He thought she killed his dad.
Yeah.
It was just so abrupt and out of nowhere
Yeah,
where
it
I
was
was like,
abrupt.
holy shit. But then I started thinking about it. And I was like, I fucking love this because it's different. It's not, you don't get that a lot.
usually
in
the
books.
miscommunication is people who are in the same room with each other that refuse to say what they just want to
Yeah.
say. That's usually what miscommunication.
I
And
also
they get
love that you
interrupted
didn't-
by something like on the
or like they don't have
outside,
like the balls to say it.
My
Right.
point is, you didn't drag me through the mud. You were just like, here's a blank page that says 4 years later, which
Do with that what you will.
Can you imagine if we
love that.
miscommunicated for 4 years?
No, I love that you.
Yeah,
didn't-
exactly.
That's
Like
what
it
I'm
was
saying.
just, but that shit happens. You just don't
Yeah,
talk.
that's.
Yeah.
But I love that I didn't have to
I've
fucking
ghosted
listen to
many
it.
a man.
Yeah.
Oh.
But that's I think
Cold.
that was I think that's why
Damn,
this
terrible.
miscommunication
Fuck
was
that
good.
Yeah.
Because like why would he reach out to her and why would she reach out to
I
him?
agree, and I just
There's no reason.
What I'm saying though is that I enjoyed that. I love that like came, and I was like, oh my god. And then reflecting on it, I was like, thank you so much for just like getting us into the part that I care about, which is now she's
welcome.
she's coming back.
Which I thought you guys wrote that really well, of her coming
Very
back
well.
and being like freaked out about having to see him again.
Very,
Because she's
very
been at
well.
college for 4 years and she's had a whole different life, and now she has to come back to the pack life.
Yep.
And she's like, oh my god, I'm gonna see him.
I messaged Erica. I said my favorite chapter in this book, which I guess would be the one that you wrote, was the when he sees her for the first time after 4 years, and
Oh,
she
yeah.
crawls out of the window, and it's like all the emotions that he has seeing her, and like that was that part of the book when I was like, "Ooh, I'm here, I'm connected." Like I actually feel something for
Took you
these
17
characters.
chapters?
Well, that it always does.
Is that chapter
every book.
17?
That's what she said. She said.
Yeah, chapter 17.
Really?
Yeah. No, but that's not like unnormal for me.
Well, thank you.
That was a really awesome moment, and it was just like I don't know, like I that got me going pretty good for the rest of the book. So what happens after? Because I want to talk about the witches too.
So
Eric, Maria, I know you love the witches.
I mean, number one, you got me at witches. You know, like that was the best. But essentially, he wants to get revenge. He's like, this bitch killed my dad, even though I still have a lot of feelings for her. Like, fuck that, I'm gonna, you know. And at the same time, there are also issues happening on the borders, coming from. Remind me, is it another type? Is it?
No, it's coming from Dallas's pack.
So Dallas's pack, the youngins, basically, are going around and making a muck. Making a mess.
Naturally.
They're making a muck.
and so Jack doesn't, he keeps doing things like his father did. Like he doesn't want to actually like go out of the pack and go into town and get more resources for his pack. And so it just causes more of a little bit of a drama with them. And his mother also is going through so much like depression and trauma from the husband being killed. So it's like, it's a lot. And at this point, I feel like Dallas is also, she's about to get sold off basically to another guy.
Yep.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
We don't like
married
him.
out.
He basically he assaults her. It was
Bear.
like not good. Y'all. I
Yeah.
don't like it.
Barrett, sorry.
Did a good job of making me hate a
Barrett.
character.
Barrett, yeah.
We put it in a trigger warning.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
I think there was.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
assault.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or sexual assault.
Sexual
Did we-
assault. Yeah.
I was just gonna write assault, I think, and then Erica was like, "No, Liv, that's
It's a
sexual."
different
assault."
type.
I was like, "Are you
It's
sure?"
a different
She was
world.
like, "Bitch, yeah." And I was like, "Yeah, okay."
But what remind me is it when they see each other again, and then it's sort of like they have to keep seeing each other. They can't like just like let things die. And finally, they have the whole thing like, well, you know what you did. She's like, what did I do? You fucking left me on red. Never came over.
Yeah.
And he's like, you killed my dad. And she's like, what do you mean I killed your dad? I didn't kill your dad. So then Dallas goes to this whole thing sort of playing detective, trying to figure out what actually happened.
Yeah, that was cool.
Figures out that it was her father who killed Jack's father. And then she tries to prove it to him. And then basically they go against him at the end and kill Dallas's dad.
Yeah.
So, because of how that happened, I didn't think we wrote a miscommunication trope. Because
What?
to me, yeah, because like in my head, like the first time that they met back up, basically.
No. That's not true at all.
But in my head, miscommunication is
The first time they met
Like-
back up in the alleyway or whatever, they were like skirting
In the
around
rain.
it. Yeah, they were
It's hot.
skirting. He
No,
was like,
but
"I know
he,
what you
like-
did," and she was like, "What did I like?" They never said it.
pure
And
miscommunication.
I think that's why I was so connected to, because I was losing my fucking mind. I was like, "Bro, just say it. Just say it. Just fucking tell her about your dad, you dumb motherfucker." And I'm like, "Oh my
I don't
god."
know. I guess I like didn't think of it.
So
Like,
I was-
I think that
Yeah.
I think that miscommunication does obviously play a part, but I don't think it is as divisive in our book as it is
on
in
Yeah.
like so
romance
many
books.
other books that we can't stand.
See,
it.
I
Like,
don't read a lot of romance books, so
Yeah.
to me, I
miscommunication
disagree.
to me is like the whole book
yeah,
is like
right,
them skirting around
Right.
it versus like I feel like we got to it.
Right, yeah.
quicker.
Like our book has miscommunication, but it's not like the whole tone of the book.
And it's not due to the fact that they just are pussies about it.
right.
So I like respect your opinion, but I totally disagree because I felt like we kept skirting around it, and then when they finally told him, he was like basically like, "Yeah, I don't believe you," and they were still kind of miscommunicating in a way. Like she wasn't saying, you know, "I'm doing all these things. I'm gonna prove it." Like
She goes to the witch. Well, she gets led to the witch in a way.
she doesn't tell him
Right?
about
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Only
The
people who
witch-
need her can see the storefront.
Right.
So she goes in and she finds out through her, like, do this spell to get the answers that you need.
Oh
And it
man, the
goes into
spells
that.
were. We had no
Botched.
fucking idea. we like kept going into these
It made
ideas that
sense,
were
though.
like,
Thank you.
I
were you
believed
right
it.
there?
I
I
believed
believe.
it.
Also, I think Zora is Zora, right?
yeah.
She's my favorite character.
Yeah, that was great.
Hands
That's a
down.
popular opinion.
Yeah.
But she's just so funny.
Well,
Like,
you
no,
want to
yeah,
you
you're
want to
right,
hear
you're
like
right.
the
She's
true
awesome.
history of Zora? Olivia goes, "Make her fucking weird."
she
I'm
is weird.
and
glad
I
you said
said,
that.
"Say no more."
Can I tell you my favorite quote? I have it like highlighted.
Yeah.
She goes, "I don't eat wolves on Tuesdays." I squinted at her. It's Thursday. Oh, well, the lovely voice squeaked. You're in some trouble then. Fucking loved it.
I love that too.
And then she went through a whole tirade of trying to describe sex between.
Yeah,
we
I
find
love
out there's
that.
a
Oh my
curse.
god, I screamed for like a month.
We find out there was a curse
good.
on
Funny.
Dallas's family.
Yeah.
I'm
that-
editing those chapters
that
like
the men-
crying. Like I can't stop laughing.
I forgot about the curse. That's
yeah,
a big
there's
thing.
a curse,
Yeah, the curse.
on
Yeah.
the men of Dallas's family who what they can't. What can't they do?
They can't come inside a girl.
What?
No, it's that they can't have.
Get me, I thought.
Yeah.
They can't mate.
Which is
me,
fucking
yeah.
coming inside a girl.
No.
Well,
No. No.
Well, that's what's happening. Wasn't he fucking her and then started to like turn into like a wolf, or did I read that totally
no,
wrong?
that's
Yeah,
no, that happened.
No.
Oh, okay.
That did happen.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's not the reasoning.
Yeah, because he was like they were mating,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
the
so,
point
like,
it's not the mating,
mating-
problem, but
the
if
mating-
she finds her mate dies essentially.
Yeah.
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 That's
So
the
that's the
curse.
difference between like the females, like
And
what
the
the
males.
curse does to the female.
The males can't find a mate. The girls that they do,
Yeah.
their mate turns into a wolf and cannot change back, and they die.
Yeah.
And they're like kind of like aggressive too, because he was getting aggressive and he was
Yeah.
like, "Leave,
To kill
everybody
her.
leave."
yeah, he was
yeah.
like turning like primal. Have you seen Zootopia?
Yeah.
Yes!
Yes. The Nightshade. Oh my god, he went savage.
Look no
Zootopia is one
further
of
than
my
Zootopia.
He went savage.
Yeah, that's like what was happening.
Zootopia is like one of my favorite movies.
It's my all-time favorite.
Good one.
The amount
I
of
would
time I've
fuck that
seen
fox.
Zootopia,
Me too.
it's
I would
not.
fuck that fox.
Listen,
George Clooney.
okay, so Erica would fuck a gargoyle and you could fuck a fox.
If for those
Yeah, I would.
watching, she said yes. Okay, I have some notes that I just want to run through. First starting with Jack's brother, Mike, my boyfriend, said, "Wow, Erica, I didn't know I meant that much to you. Mike's last name is Lorenzo, and you named the brother Lorenzo."
Aww.
And he kept saying, "Oh, that's so sweet." And I said, "It has absolutely nothing to do with you."
No, nothing. I've never met this Mike.
2 Corys, 1 book.
2 Corys, 1 book.
I didn't realize we put 2 Corys in the book.
We did?
I guess so.
Oh my God, your friend. Oh, I forgot about
We had a
her.
C-O-R-I
Good
and a
point.
C-O-R-E-Y. So that was
Good
a
point. Good
a
point.
lot
I
of
didn't
Corey.
notice it.
I didn't
Corys.
even notice it.
My brother's name is Corey, so
That's fine.
really
Yes, there are 2 Corys, and we did that on purpose. So.
There was a Game of Thrones reference in there.
It's Erica's book.
Oh, is that in your on your part?
Yeah.
There has to be a
what
game.
was there?
Zora
I'm
said in Game of
forgetting it.
Thrones. Zora gave her a line.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then Dal was like, "Is that a line from Game of Thrones?" She's like, "Is it?"
I think it was
She said,
originally
I get
Harry
those mixed
Potter.
up. I think you dropped 2.
Did
you
I?
did drop a Harry Potter one. That was like a little more painted, and then you dropped the Game of Thrones one where like Dallas called her out.
Yeah.
Also, another favorite scene of mine was when Dallas and Enzo were digging up the grave.
You like that?
That was very funny. I loved the chemistry between.
I like how they.
Erica was
bicker.
texting me like,
Yeah.
"I'm gonna make them pissed at each other." I was like,
well,
"Good."
it felt like
But
a
it makes
real,
sense. A little
Yeah.
brother
Yeah, yeah.
would be that way.
It
That's
felt
right.
yeah. It felt exactly how I would talk to Chris.
I wanted him to feel young.
Yeah.
He
Still.
did. He did. Okay.
Yeah.
No. Now, help me out here. Zora's 80 something.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
Okay. And she's going after little
A
Enzo.
woman never tells. Maria.
I got the vibes. I got the vibes that she's
supposed
going
to-
after him.
We're writing.
She's not going after him.
I mean, I know he likes it. Trust, he likes it.
But
But-
he likes
But
it.
in a moment, I was like, "Am I crazy?" Because
I totally missed that.
when she
Oh,
was
yeah.
described, she was described as someone in her 80s, or at least like
Yeah.
someone older, right?
Mhm.
And so then when the whole thing at the dinner table at the end happens with her and Zora,
Oh,
with
yeah,
him
yeah,
and Zora,
yeah.
I'm like, the fuck?
But she's like a hottie.
No,
She
I
is
know she's a
hot.
hottie.
Just to
She's
be
a
clear.
hottie 80-year-old.
If you're
But
hot,
but in the back of my mind, I was like, why? No, what?
Yeah, no, I hear
But
you.
I'm in here. I'm in.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
this.
she's older.
I love how
She's
chill you
older.
guys are about this book.
Yeah.
Where you guys are kind of
We're
like,
trying.
yeah, it is what it is. Like, yeah, that thing happened that we didn't like necessarily think about, and I love that. I think that's great.
Oh,
it
with the
just, like-
Corys, I know. Oh, well.
But at the end of the day, I really enjoyed this book. To be
I
honest,
gave it a
to be honest.
4.
This is not the kind of book that I would read, and y'all know this. Most
Yeah.
of you, like, I hate romance. I'm so over wolves in general. But this was fun and playful, and like I liked their connection. Dallas and Jack were really good characters. I feel like I didn't hate any of the characters, which is huge because I feel like every time I read a
Except the
romance,
dad. Hated the dad.
well,
Yeah, fuck
yeah.
that dad.
I didn't even hate him, to be honest with you. I was like, I
He's
get,
kinda like
you
this-
kind of get
yeah.
it, right? Like
He's kind of a
that's
dick.
his life though.
He was kind of a dick.
His life is his
little
pack,
dicky.
man. That's his.
He was
No,
just
he
trying to-
wanted more land.
He wanted
Yeah,
more,
it's true.
but like
That's
just
what it would
I
be.
can understand Jack's dad.
Yeah.
I get him.
Yeah.
I get the whole protecting the pack. Don't go out of here. Like keep it small. We're
Yeah.
protected that way. I'm okay with him and how stern he was. Dallas's dad's a dick.
Right. Right. Well, I
he
mean,
was just
there's-
looking
it felt very mafia-esque in
Yeah.
some ways,
Yeah.
which I was kind of
Yeah.
cool. It felt, yeah. And y'all wrote about Romeo and Juliet. Is that kind of the vibe that you were trying to, like, part of me in the end kind of wanted them to
I
die.
don't feel like it was intentional at the
I thought
at
it
the
was a legit
start.
retelling.
Really? You think so?
No.
I thought this was a Romeo and I
So
went
after
in
a
knowing it
while-
was a Romeo and Juliet retelling, but
I
they just
think
don't
we
die at the end.
I think we leaned into it once we
right.
recognized
After
it.
we realized, we were like, oh, this is a lot of like, I was like, well, let's use
the minute they were
this.
trying to run away
Yeah.
together and then something bad happened, I was like, that's
Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, right.
Oh, see, I don't know enough about Romeo. I just know they
Did you
died
not cover
in
it
the
in
end.
school?
We went over this.
I mean,
I think it was like we said like star-crossed lovers. We
Yeah.
said like a lot of
Yeah.
like.
When
The-
you say that, I think of Romeo and Juliet immediately.
for sure.
I think we had a line
Yeah.
about Romeo and Juliet in it with
yeah,
Lorenzo.
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, because he liked it. I like Enzo. I love how cute he
You
is.
like him?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, me
Enzo is my favorite character.
Oh,
That was
really?
the other
Zora's
thing I was gonna
mine.
say, yeah.
Zora's my favorite. And her sister's fun too.
well, we're writing
Yeah,
a novella
yeah.
with Lorenzo and Zora.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
I knew that
my
already.
god, I
I knew
love
that
that.
already.
Is that public knowledge?
It is
Yeah.
now.
All right.
Well, you guys mentioned on the story.
Yeah, we mentioned
One of you
it.
mentioned on the story being like, there's a character that everyone likes. And I was like,
Hinting
oh,
at
yeah,
it.
the witch.
Okay, then.
I love that y'all are doing this. I think this is really, really cool. I'm excited to read more of your books because
Oh, yeah.
I
to
love
be honest,
seeing
I'm
you
just
guys
not
write.
online,
It makes
so I
me
don't
want
know.
to write mine.
Yeah.
You should.
I know I should. I'm
It
not.
is inspiring.
You had
so-
really, really, really helpful insight.
Aw. I
You
feel
should
like
I'm good
definitely
at
write
giving
one.
insight. I'm not good at making it up.
No, you think that, but then you start to write, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'm the
Yeah.
fucking king.
you just got to do it.
I mean,
Yeah.
I learned a lot from Olivia in
Oh, I'm
this
sure.
process too.
Ah.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
love that. I know you
learned from
mentioned
Erica
that.
too.
You mentioned that when we were talking, and I was like, "How is it working with Olivia?" Or like, just working with another author? Because to me, I feel like I'd be so scared. I'd be like, "Fuck, I got like this person has to like my work, and then I have to like their." But she said she was like, it was amazing. Like it was a good.
When you find
yeah,
a good partner like
Aw.
that, it always
Yeah.
makes it more fun.
that's true.
Well, it's
Yeah, we have a blast.
we have different strengths too.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
that made it different. And then like I think we like when you have somebody who like is open to suggestion too,
Mm.
Yeah.
that like I think some people could get upset about like edits
Yeah.
and
Some people
like
get
that
too
kind
close,
of stuff.
Right.
too attached.
You get
Yeah.
True.
too attached
That's
to
true.
certain things, and then like there were some suggestions like both of us made on both of our things that we said no.
Yeah,
That's
right.
awesome.
Like, there was,
That's fine.
and I
Yeah,
never
right.
felt a certain way of her like
Yeah,
saying
no.
no to my rejection
Yeah.
or my suggestion or vice versa.
Likewise, yeah.
Like it was like
Right.
no,
Great
this isn't
partnership.
what I
Yeah, I
Right.
love that.
intended. And then like there was a couple of things we talked through, but other than
Yeah.
that, like it was just like this is
Right.
my thought, this is what I thought, and then we figured out like what that meant.
Yeah, Erica is very easy to work with.
Yeah.
She's so fun.
Super
shocked.
easy to work with.
You should not be shocked.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I think a part of it is just like understanding that like your idea isn't the only idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that like there
There's-
could be a better way to say it, the better
Yeah.
way
I
to
love
do
that.
it, better
Yeah.
way to but
There are
like
several ways to make a book.
It's hard
Exactly.
because art's so subjective, right?
So
Sure.
subjective.
So like what
Sure.
you think could be cool, you think is like stupid, and it's
Right.
like trying to find a balance, which I think you did really well. I think this is a super solid book.
thank you.
What was the other? There was one other thing I wanted to ask. Oh,
what did you guys think about the sex scenes?
I might have skimmed a little bit because I was
Mm.
trying to for time, but I thought it was really good. I thought it was
liked
good.
them.
It felt
I thought
right.
It was good. I thought you
There
guys
Did you
saw
write
some-
one at all?
It
was just Dallas's point of view, right?
No, they
No,
were
we
just
wrote Jack
Oh,
had
well,
some too.
I wrote Jack.
Oh, the jerk off
Yeah, I
scene.
read
That was
that.
well done.
you know.
How did you get to that mindset?
I love writing the
jerk-off
dude's
scene.
perspective. I write
Yeah.
a dude's perspective in everything I write.
I love that.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to write Jack.
Yeah.
Dallas. Erica
Yeah.
is really good at like the like inner perspective.
Mhm.
I lack that in like everything. Like even when Erica edits my retreat novellas, and when she edits, she'll like call me out. Like I'll write some like funny shit in here, and then I'll like make them pissed off about it, and Erica will be like, "Why?" And I'll be like, "Oh yeah, good point."
So, I mean, I guess, yeah, I don't think I could ever write a sex scene, so I commend you for doing a wonderful job. I'm glad that you both got something in there.
I don't remember the sex scene though. What did we write for that?
Dallas is on the couch.
Oh yeah.
Why did you...
Oh no, we
Well,
put it
he-
in the kitchen too.
Yeah, then he goes. To the
It moves
kitchen.
around.
I definitely might have skimmed a lot of that, but
Yeah,
why...
he starts on the
forgot
couch, he
to.
moves her to the kitchen.
Did we name this Fated Enemies because the packs are enemies, but they're fated together? Was that the thinking?
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty solid
It's a
title.
great title.
Because
you.
that's one of the hardest things.
Titles.
Titles for books. Did
we
it take
spent
you
we
a
spent a
while?
while.
Yeah, we did. We bullshitted
Picking.
a little while. I can't remember where we started at.
I like it though.
I can't wait to ask you guys about like
the writing.
the idea. Yeah. Okay. So, we're going to do another episode about their writing process, which we mentioned earlier. That's going to be later on. So stick around obviously for that. If you have questions, actually we might as well open this up then. If you have questions for Erica and Olivia, ask them. We're going to put this like on our we could put it on our story right after this. And maybe we'll get some questions from the people and see what we can answer.
Good idea. Good idea. Look at you.
But do y'all have anything else you want to talk about closing that's not about the writing process, like about the story in general? Like, how do you feel about it? Do you feel good about the book? Do you feel like this was a solid?
Oh yeah, I'm thrilled. Yeah, I'm happy just to like create content for anybody to enjoy it. If they enjoy it, I feel like we did a good job.
That's awesome.
So
I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled.
It was meant to be like fun, easy reading.
It
And that's what it
was.
was.
Like
I read most of the book on the beach on my
Oh,
on my
really?
birthday. I read this
Oh,
on my
I
30th
love
birthday.
that.
And
I
I
love that
finished it, and it
too.
was great. I was like by the water, and I'm like, he betrayed her.
like I don't think every book needs to be some like incredible masterpiece that you like
Yeah.
are so proud of and that
Right.
you like think everyone should read. And like
Right.
to me, like this is like fun and it's short and it's smutty and like, you know, if you like it, great. If you don't, like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah,
Just, like,
it's fine, yeah. It
you
doesn't
know,
matter.
and like
It's nothing
I'm
for
happy
everybody.
that a bunch of people read it and that they like. I think our followers like this style,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
that I want to make something like, as always, why we do the podcast. I want to put something out there that people enjoy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's basically what you said too. I
Yeah.
like that. I respect that a lot.
I'm so happy
thanks.
we met you.
Yeah, this is great.
I'm so happy I met you.
It's nice having you here and finally meeting you in person. You're a little shorter than I thought, but
Oh,
I've
well.
been meaning to meet her forever. I was like, she's so close. To
I know.
us.
I am pretty close. I'm 2 hours away.
That's close. No, that's close.
But
it's
it's
not like
fine,
you're
it's
over in
fine.
Montana.
No, true. Fair enough.
We
yeah.
have friends in Australia.
We're in the region. Yeah, true.
Yeah, we have a lot of listeners in the UK.
Yeah, really weird.
Yeah.
I have a lot of followers from like the UK.
make sure you follow us on Instagram. That's books_n_Betches, BETCH. Follow Olivia on
ES?
Instagram. BETCH.
ES.
Oh God. Don't listen to me. Olivia, where can people find you?
On Instagram at It's O Rose.
It's O Rose.
Which is a great
It's
handle.
me.
by
That
the
is
way.
a really good handle.
Love that handle.
She makes a lot of cool content, a lot of funny reels. I will say when I do actually go on social media, your reels are some of my favorite. And I told Erica
I
that
also
in the
love her
beginning.
aesthetic.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I also follow her author one when
Yeah.
she gives like writing advice.
Yeah, I follow
yeah, I
that
just
too.
Great
started
vibes.
that.
Great
Thank
vibes. Great
you.
vibes.
Yeah, so if
Thank
you're a up and coming inspiring writer, find some good tips. What's that Instagram handle?
Olivia is writing.
Olivia is writing. You could probably find some helpful stuff there. And as always, follow us on YouTube. Do all the things basically.
All the things.
Just look up Books and Betches.
Or
You'll figure it
else.
out. Yeah. Or else Olivia's coming for
read
you.
Fated Enemies.
Also,
Yes.
Also read
yeah.
Lycanthrope
Or else.
and
And, like,
Retreat.
yeah.
And
Or
what's the other one?
else.
Catalina is what it's called?
Retreat Catalina and Retreat Long Beach Liner.
I know the titles.
Amazing. And we'll catch you next week. So have a great day.
Bye.
Bye bye.